Hello, everybody. During a press conference, Donald Trump was discussing rebuilding helicopters in less than 10 minutes. Because it is a serious subject, I am putting on my serious face and reading it to you. We took 3 helicopters over there, which were very strongly used and couldn't have lived without them. They performed unbelievably well, and if you'd see it, you wouldn't believe it. They came off the plane, and these guys had them. The rotors were off. They rebuilt these helicopters in less than 10 minutes, and that was one of the more amazing things. These are helicopters, small, unbelievably powerful, but small, very small, so it can get into certain areas. And they got them off the plane, and they rebuilt all 3 of them in a matter of less than 10 minutes. It's pretty amazing what the genius of these people. Who would think that? You'd think it would take 5 days to build them, and in some companies it would take 5 days, and they wouldn't do it well. But they served us well. As Commander-in-Chief, I never forget the extraordinary risk taken by the warriors that we send into battle, and the genius. I mean, think of it. Having a contingency of 3 planes waiting because we think the sand is so bad that we probably won't be able to take off. And the planes really got bogged. This was not much of a runway. This was a farm, not a runway. It was a farm, but it did the trick. But to have a contingency, as opposed to having to wait 2 days, can you imagine right in the middle? This was central. This was right. You would call it central casting if you were doing a movie for location. And probably the toughest area of Iran where we'd be sitting there. So these planes came in. Those pilots came in so fast and so quick and got out of there. Everybody got aboard and just got 15-minute intervals. 1 load out, 1 load out, 1 load out. It happened. And we were watching and we said, "That's amazing." In many ways, I was almost more impressed by the contingency that we had than the fact that, if we would have had a runway or decent soil, but it was an amazing thing. But we thank God for every single one of them, and the talent, the genius. It's not even talent, it's genius. It's the whole ball game, every one of them. If you look at what we did with Maduro, we went into a military compound, a massive, with thousands and thousands of soldiers, and within a matter of minutes. And he lived behind iron doors. There were steel doors, broke them down so quickly, and within almost minutes he was in the back of these planes. It was a similar group. Incredible. We have incredibly talented people, and if the time comes, we move heaven and earth to bring them home safely. We're going to bring our people home safely. I want to thank every member of the US Armed Forces involved in these historic operations. They really were historic. It's just not something that's done, and you'd understand it. Not that they don't want to do it, but when you're going into areas, when you look at these helicopters, when you look at the amount of bullets and everything else that they took, when you go into these areas, you don't come out like we came out. God was watching us. I tell you, well, it was the Easter. We were in the Easter territory, I guess. But God was watching us. Amazing. Because when you look at the machinery, they took damage. It tells you, first thing I said is, these are unbelievable machines. So this concludes my serious reading about helicopters. I'll be back tomorrow with more unhinged remarks from Donald Trump. Bye!